Hey everyone, first of all, I want to clear up some questions that have come from commenters who viewed my videos. I never said the Raiders would not file for relocation. I have said, and I've written, and I'll say again at the outset, the Raiders will file for relocation as a formality, but I don't expect them to follow through with it. It's not so much that Mark Davis doesn't want to move to LA. In spite of his claims to the contrary, I think he really wants to be in Southern California because he's under the impression that the Raiders will be more valuable in LA because he views LA from a lens that's basically 25 years old in the past. By contrast, the reality is the Bay Area is a more valuable market from a number of new measures, like, for example, richest region with respect to gross metropolitan per capita income, where it's 17, where it's number one, whereas LA is 17. So, among other measures. But Davis is one of these folks who says, LA, oh, that just can't possibly be true. And they'll point only to population size, and that's not the best measure all the time by any means, not like it used to be. Not in the internet age, which gets to my second point. The Raiders' problems in Oakland are not born of some idea that Oakland doesn't have a great corporate base. They are simply due to the Raiders' own poor management practices, and that must be stated. The Raiders have historically believed that the best solution for business management is simply to win on the field. That's it. Everything else would take care of itself. But it doesn't work like that. Look at the Dallas Cowboys and their record versus their value and the amount of revenue they generate. Perfect example. So the NFL would love it if Mark Davis sold the Raiders, because the Raiders are one of the NFL's poorest performing assets. They have not achieved the middle of the pack even in terms of franchise value but once in the 21st century, and they have been consistent bottom feeders in terms of franchise value. That's no one else's fault other than the team itself and the organization managers. It's just a fact. Now, the city and some members of the county have worked with the Raiders on a quasi-daily basis, trying to come up with the right combination of numbers, and the Raiders have been consistently frustrating to work with. And that indicates to me that they've been trying to move the needle so that at the end of the day they can say, we really tried to get an agreement, it just didn't work, and so here we're going to file for relocation. In other words, they're trying to set up an argument to file for relocation. In short, what I think the Raiders are doing is not the best business practice. I'll just say it a very polite way that way. Okay? But that doesn't mean that just because Mark Davis wants to be in LA, the NFL owners will let him have LA. Okay? Because arguably the San Diego Chargers and the St. Louis Rams are better managed teams, and Inglewood is further along in its process. And I'm not talking about the stadium itself, but I mean just in general, than Carson is. So, but as a friend of mine told me, who is a exec with one of the NFL teams, no one has any idea how the vote is going to turn out in Houston for the NFL owners meeting coming up on January 12th and 13th. This is going to be interesting, and it's not over till it's over. Stay tuned.